Hello, and welcome to Biohacking with Brittany. I am thrilled that you are listening. This is a place where I talk about health and wellness and all things biohacking. I am still a little under the weather, so just excuse my voice. It's a little croaky and a little more hoarse than normal, I guess. So that's just kind of the state that I am in right now. Today's episode is a question and answer. I love these episodes. I love to see where my audience is at, where your heads are at, what you're thinking, what your questions are, what you want to know about. And the questions are kind of all over the map. And I really, really like when it's like that. So there's something for everybody. And I think this one is a good example of that. Lots of you are interested in specific modalities of healing, trending things, and we are going to dive into all of that. There's about, I think, 6 or 7 questions that I'm going to go through. So I'm going to hop in really quick. I don't want to waste any time, but a shout out before we get started to Leela Quantum Tech. I recently did a podcast episode actually with Leela Quantum Tech. I did an episode with their founder, Philip. And it was an awesome episode. I got so much good feedback from that. And we really talked about quantum energy and what that is, what that means. We talked about EMF, we talked about 5G and everything like that. So quantum energy is the energy that exists in everything. Every unit of matter contains quantum energy, and every person constantly interacts with quantum energy fields. Your quantum energy field can be disrupted by toxicity and stress today's world is bombarded with. And they have created products that help with this, that kind of mitigate this stress, toxicity, radiation that we kind of are exposed to. So 2 of their products that I use is their Infinity Block and their Heal Capsule and Heal Capsule Petite. So the Infinity Block I actually have beside my bed, and then I also have one in my office. I think that it's smart to have something where you sleep and then also where you work, especially because I work from home and we have like our Wi-Fi in this room and 2 desks and 2 computers and phones and, on and on and on about everything plugged in and attached to Wi-Fi and all these things. And so that's kind of why I did that. And it's really interesting when you look into the science of Leela Quantum Tech, because it's been proven to actually boost ATP production by their products, or their blocks, which is the Infinity Block that I have, has been proven to boost ATP production by 20 to 29%, which is significant. Their products also neutralize EMF, even in electric cars. They optimize HRV and improve blood. And they have all of this science and research on their website, which explains exactly how it works. So if you're someone like me who really values being grounded and connected to the earth and thinking about your own energy field and doesn't really want to worry about it, kind of just wants it taken care of and just like checked off the list, this is the products that I would recommend going with. So I would get, if you're in an apartment like me right now, I would probably get 1 Infinity Block. And then if you're traveling and leaving the house, or you're in an electric car, I hope you're not in an electric car, but if you are in one, then I would get the Heal Capsule as well. So I also have that, and I take that with me when I need it, especially on flights. I think it's really important. And so I just feel like we understand quantum energy and we understand how to mitigate it. But when it comes to these types of things like EMF, radiation, 5G, you can't physically see it. So a lot of us just ignore it, but doesn't mean it's not impacting our health. And I would rather have something that has been proven to help with help with EMF mitigation than to not do anything at all. That has always been my take on it. And that is where I stand. So if you want to try it out, if you are like, yeah, you know what? I'm worried about my radiation that I'm exposed to as well. I'm worried about the electromagnetic fields around me and my kids and my family. then you need to get these products. They are everywhere right now. I've seen them. So many people are talking about them. They're so big. So go to the website, link to my show notes and on my website, Leela Quantum Tech. And yeah, look out for that. And just a side note, if you listened to my episode with Philippe, we talked about EMF blocking underwear for women, and we are moving forward with that project. I don't know necessarily what it's going to look like in terms of how I'm going to partner with them, but I am going to be involved in any way. How? It could just be something simple as like an affiliate or a partner or a model for them. But I would actually love to like be more of a 50-50 partner with them. So that is coming, and that's probably going to launch this summer. Something that I was working on back in 2020 and felt like it was beyond my scope. And so I think it's just the universe bringing it back to me to be like, hey, let's pick this up again and let's work on this. So that is something that I'm excited about and looking forward to. And another shout out is to Baby Steps. This is my preconception course launching this month, which makes me laugh because I have so much work to do. But if you are somebody who's looking to optimize this time of your life, fertility, getting healthy before you have a kid, you need to do my course. It will be the ultimate resource for you. It will be everything that I've done and my clients have done. And it's all in one place. So you don't need to buy all the random books, listen to the random podcasts, or like look up supplements, look up nutrition, look up exercise. It's all in one place for you. And it solves your problems of not understanding what to eat, not understanding what lifestyle habits to adopt in order to get pregnant successfully, fast, sustain pregnancy, have a healthy baby and a healthy birth. And so it's all easy and in one place for you, and takes out the overwhelming research behind this because I've done it for you. And also is just very straightforward and gives you what you need. It includes my 90-day baby steps cleanse and everything. I'm just so passionate about this. So it's my biohacking pregnancy course. I'm very, very excited about it. And if you join the waitlist right now, you get $100 off. I see all of you joining it every single day. Seriously, get on this waitlist if you're not on it yet. Only the people on the waitlist will get $100 off. I will not be giving this to anybody else. So I will be emailing you all individually your custom coupon code, I guess, when it comes out, so that you can use that. And it will be only for a limited time because, yeah, that's how these things kind of run. And that's business and that's how it works. So stay tuned for that. I will, of course, be doing a lot of promo and talking about that when it's launched, but it will only come out to the people on the waitlist first, and then probably public in March. So let's dive into this podcast episode, a Q&A, question and answer. Let's go. So first question, somebody wrote, and a lot of these are pulled from my Instagram. Do you take Qualia Mind? If so, what are your thoughts? Okay. So for those who don't know, Qualia Mind is a nootropic supplement. It is by the company Neurohacker, and it is a fabulous, fabulous nootropic blend. I'm actually going to pull up the website right now so that I should have done this so that I can read out the ingredients to you in case you are curious about it. I have taken this before, so this is definitely not me just saying this. I've taken it. My husband has taken it. This is actually my husband's favorite nootropic that he has ever taken ever. And I have tried many. And I'm going to be like straight up with you. Typically when people send me nootropics, which was very common about 2 years ago, I would kind of take them, but I always just felt like I didn't need it. And some of the ingredients I didn't love in some of them. So I would just have my husband take them, my now husband take them. And he would kind of like tell me what he liked and what he didn't like. And this one is by far his favorite. And also I should say that I have personally taken this one, so I can talk about this one. It is a premium nootropic for mental performance. So it helps with mental clarity, sharpened focus, amplified drive, less procrastination, stress resilience, more energy and centered mood and emotions. And let's kind of go through all of these ingredients. Oh my gosh, there's so many on here. I can understand why they're so popular. Okay. In all fairness, you have to take 7 a day, which is a lot. Okay. That is a lot. So I understand why some people don't like that. So the ingredients: vitamin C, vitamin D3, thiamine, niacin, vitamin B6, B12, pantothenic acid, choline, acetyl A-carnitine, artichoke leaf, bacopa, rhodiola. Those are both adaptogens. N-acetyl L-tyrosine, phenylalanine, taurine, L-theanine. Those are amino acids. Alpha GPC. See what else is in here. There's so many. There's 90 milligrams of caffeine. There's velvet bean. There is DHA, ginkgo biloba, and a bunch of other ones that I cannot pronounce. But regardless, it is stacked. It is stacked. And, it makes sense. Like if you look at their website, they have over 2,200 reviews. It's rated 4.48. And the price on this, just if you're wondering, is $39 for your first bottle and then $139 thereafter. And one bottle has enough for 22 servings. So that's really interesting. Back to this question of what are my thoughts about it? My argument would be that if you are going to take a nootropic, I would take this one. I think it's the best. And I think if you can afford it, you should take it. And if you're struggling with things like mental focus or mental clarity or procrastination, yeah, you definitely want to be doing this one. You definitely want to be taking it. I would try it for about 3 months and see what difference you feel. I do have a discount code if you want. It's Brittany in all capitals. I will link it and put it in the show notes. That is actually not even on my website yet. I got to add it. So definitely use that because that can help you save as well. Because I know it's a bit pricier than the other ones. But yeah, Qualia Mind is arguably the best nootropic on the market, in my opinion. I know there are so many, like so many. This is just what I've used and what I would recommend. If you're like me, you are thinking about your energy field, you're thinking about radiation, EMF, and 5G around you. And honestly, you're kind of worried about it as well. What if I told you you could just get a product, put it in your house, set it and forget it, and know that you're actually reducing the amount of EMF and radiation around you? That's where Lila Quantum Tech comes in. Their products actually neutralize EMF, even in electric cars. And this is so important because we are so bombarded with the amount of EMF and radiation in today's society. So their key product that I love is their Infinity Block. And it has actually been proven to increase ATP production, which is the energy in our cells, by 20 to 29%. So this really does matter. Lila Quantum Tech has over 59 studies, and they actually also have another 6 in progress. They are randomized, placebo-controlled, and double-blind studies proving the great benefits of their products. I really suggest you get this Infinity Block. If you can get something that you can put in your house and say, hey, this is actually helping to neutralize how much EMF me and my family are exposed to, it just makes sense. Why would you not want some sort of safety measure like that you can count on? They also have a Heal capsule, which is like a little capsule that you can bring with you anywhere you go. And it does this same thing, obviously to a smaller degree and smaller circumference around you. So I like to wear this when I go on planes because there's so much radiation on planes and EMF. And I like to wear it just in general when I travel. Their products have been proven to optimize HRV and improve your blood and obviously ATP production, like I said. So that's what I would do. I would really recommend looking into how you can manage your quantum energy field better because this is such a key aspect of optimizing your health. You can get a significant discount through the link on my website and also in the show notes. And that will help you be able to get this at a better price. So again, that's Leela Quantum Tech. I have the Infinity Block. It's in my bedroom. I actually sleep right beside it. And then I also have their Heal capsule on a necklace that I take with me everywhere I go. And these are the two that I would recommend. I think this is a great starting pack for you and provides substantial coverage in order to neutralize the EMF that's around you and optimize your health. Okay, next. Does Bluetooth still emit when wearing a smartwatch when your phone is not nearby? The answer is yes. So most smartwatches still emit Bluetooth signals even when they are not connected to your phone. These signals are typically used for functions such as syncing data with other devices or maintaining a connection with accessories like wireless headphones. While the intensity of these emissions may decrease when the watch is not actively connected to a phone, it's essential to be aware that they are still present. If you're concerned about exposure to electromagnetic radiation, you may consider limiting the use of Bluetooth-enabled devices or opting for airplane mode when not in use. So, yeah, even though your phone might not be close by, yes, your smartwatch is still emitting some radiation and some EMF. How much is it? You could get a meter and get a device that checks it and check it out. This is why I don't own a smartwatch. I have thought about it many times. I've thought about getting an Apple Watch. I've thought about some of the nicer ones. I don't know. But I knew that I would just be so crazy about the EMF and so concerned and turning it on and off all day. I was like, what is really the benefit here for me for getting this? And so that's why I don't have one and I don't recommend people have one. My husband has one. He has the, what is it called? It's not the Apple Watch. It's like the more rugged one that a lot of dudes have. I personally, I I don't like that he has one. Okay. Let me just be real with you. I don't like that he has one, but he is his own person and he can decide what he wants to do. I try to get him to have his Bluetooth off on his phone as much as possible. And especially when I'm in the car with him. Anytime I see a notification pop up on his smartwatch, I am not the nicest about it. And I get irritated and tell him to turn his Bluetooth off because it's too much. Your phone is right next to you. Why do you need the notification sent to your wrist? It's a little ridiculous. I get him to turn the Bluetooth off. At night, it doesn't come into the bedroom. So it goes, outside of the bedroom, charging, whatever, airplane mode, and completely off. And I think that's best. The other thing that I don't like about smartwatches is that, or anything that has a screen on your body, is that I really feel like it takes you out of the present moment. I don't like the idea of being out with friends or going on a walk and then getting a notification on my wrist about a WhatsApp message from a contractor or a message from a family member about something or a notification about anything. And I understand that you can control what notifications you get and you can control having data on it and not having data on it and only using Wi-Fi. But still, I do not need to be that connected that I need it on my body. And that is why I will never have a smartwatch because I need time away from notifications and people and messages. And it's too much for me. It's too stimulating for me. And it's too much for my nervous system to be bombarded like that. So that's my 2 cents. If I were you, I would get rid of it entirely, to be frank. I don't think you need it. I have a Oura Ring. And if the Oura Ring had a screen, I would probably not have it. I only ever use the Oura Ring. I check it maybe once a day on my phone and put the Bluetooth on and check it. I know some people, put their Oura Ring on airplane mode when they're not using it. I think that's fair. I don't do that, but you could do that. I don't worry about like that little EMF coming off of it when it's not connected to something. And also there's no other devices that the Oura Ring can connect to, right? So there's no wireless headphones that it's trying to connect to. It's not trying to sync data with anything else other than my phone. So I'm not as concerned about it. Okay, moving on to the next question. This person's asking about the best toxin-free clothing brands. Okay, I am not an expert in this space. This is something that I will likely start moving towards more in the coming years. I don't know. I understand the need for it. I understand how important it is. It's not something that I prioritize right now, but it probably will be in the next few years. So I'm not the expert, but let me tell you what I found. So there are some fantastic options out there that are catering to different preferences and budgets. So some popular choices include like Patagonia, Prana, Packed Apparel, which prioritize sustainability and use organic materials in their products. The only one I know out of those, like personally, is Patagonia. And I know a lot of people love that company and love their products. There's also brands like Eileen Fisher and Reformation, which focus on eco-friendly practices and transparency in their supply chains, although that doesn't necessarily mean the clothing is toxin-free. But you can look for certifications like GOTS, which is GOTS, which is the Global Organic Textile Standard, or this other one, oh my gosh, OECO Text Standard 100, to ensure that the clothing you're purchasing meets rigorous environmental and safety standards. So you can look for that. You can look for organic certified, 100% organic. That might be great as well. Or you could look for, just do a search online like organic cotton clothing, organic hemp clothing, that type of thing. Again, this is not my area of expertise, so that's kind of where I would start. If I was going to buy something that was very toxin free, I'd probably just buy from Patagonia, or depends on what I was looking to buy, I guess. But I would start with just one garment and try out the brands and see what I think is best for my style and for my body and that type of thing. Okay, next one. Thoughts on hydrogen water. So this is kind of similar. Hydrogen water is not my area of expertise. I have done podcast episodes on this before, so please go and take a listen to them. You can just search Biohacking with Brittany hydrogen water so that you can get a better understanding of who was on my podcast when and what we said and what we talked about. But for those who are unaware, hydrogen water has been talked about for potential health benefits, including antioxidant properties and improved hydration. So there are some studies that suggest that hydrogen water may have therapeutic effects, but the research is honestly still in its early stages and needs more evidence. My personal take is that hydrogen water is not something that I currently prioritize. It could be in the future, but it's just not right now. When it comes to water, I actually find water quite complicated and complex topic. So I'll tell you what I do personally. So when it comes to water, first and foremost, I focus on it. This is for at home. I focus on it being filtered. So I have a couple of different filters that I use. I have a jug, and then I also have another filter that it goes through when I make coffee or tea or anything with hot water. So I focus on it being filtered. Then I focus on it being restructured. And so I use a device called Analemma, which is this tiny little device. It looks like it's like a tube. And it helps to restructure the water so that it actually is molecularly more in tune with your body. And I also did a podcast episode on this, so go and listen to that as well. So that little device that I have that's like a tube goes right into my water filter system. So all of the water that I drink runs through that and is restructured in that manner. So now I'm drinking filtered water that is restructured as well. The next step as well that I focus on is the containers. So I'm really trying to reduce my plastic exposure. So I use a lot of glass. All my water bottles are either glass or metal. And like my cups are ceramic, those type of thing. There's no plastic. Yeah. And when I go out to buy water, I also do that same thing. It's like I try my best to buy water in glass bottles, which is not always possible. I guess the fourth part of this would be the source of the water. And so I try to do spring water, natural spring water, 100% natural spring water. And for all of the extra minerals that might be in there. So that's kind of what my system looks like right now. It's taken me a while to get to that point of like hitting those 4 points every single day, but that's what I do. So like all of my straws are metal at home. My containers are glass, like I said, and then I will add electrolytes sometimes. That's kind of the extent of what I do for water. I was drinking hydrogen water for a while, but I'm not right now. I think this is next level. It's not something I prioritize right now. Maybe it will be in the future, but to be honest, I think I'm doing enough for my water. And if you're not doing any of those 4 things that I just said, honestly, I would start there. Start with your source, start with your containers, your filters, and restructure it before you can think about adding something like hydrogen to it, more hydrogen to it. Okay, next. Someone was asking about my thoughts on citric acid. I feel like this is such an interesting question. So citric acid is a naturally occurring compound found in citrus fruits like lemons, oranges, and limes. It's commonly used as a flavoring agent in food and beverages and also has various industrial applications. While citric acid is generally recognized as safe when consumed in moderate amounts, some individuals may experience adverse reactions such as digestive discomfort or tooth enamel erosion, especially when consumed in high concentrations or frequency. As with any food additive, moderation is key, and just be mindful of it. So I think if you have digestive issues or complications or struggles, I think citric acid should maybe be something that you are aware of. So when you're going to buy a food product, check if on the ingredients list, it's listed as a food additive, right? Like check if it's there as a flavoring agent in a lot of foods and beverages, because that could be causing you to have digestive discomfort. And the only way, to be honest, this is one of those like elimination diet things where like the only way that you would know if it's really, really impacting you is by removing it completely and seeing if your digestion gets better or if you're struggling with tooth enamel erosion, if it kind of is halted and slows down. Honestly, if I was dealing with tooth enamel erosion, I would probably be very aware of it because I wouldn't want to increase the acidity in my mouth and I wouldn't want to exacerbate that condition. However, if I was dealing with digestive discomfort, there would definitely be things that I would look at first before looking at citric acid. So it depends on your symptoms, but I personally don't worry about it. But again, I'm not dealing with any of those issues. So that's kind of the point that I'm at. Okay. And the last question, arguably my favorite question. Someone asked, what are the best biohacking conferences or events to go to this year for 2024? What a great question. So I've compiled a list of 6 events that are happening this year all over the world. I'm going to tell you the names, when, where, the speakers, and then afterwards, I'm going to tell you if I would go or not and what I'm going to so that you have an idea. It's really, really cool to see how many events are now happening year after year. I joined biohacking in 2018 and it was not like this. Okay. And so now the fact that I found 6 today And like, honestly, I could probably dig more and find another 10 that are kind of like similar, like health optimization or longevity or women's health or, maybe like more of a specific sector. I think that's awesome and so, so exciting. So here is the roundup that I have that are kind of the ones leading the charge this year. And you can decide what you think is best, obviously. And you can decide which one you want to go to. Okay. First and foremost, we have the 10th annual Biohacking Conference. This is by Dave Asprey. This is on May 30th to June 1st. There's a bonus pre-conference day on May 29th, and it is in Dallas, Texas. This is the conference that I went to last year. So last year I went to the 9th one. It was in Miami. I was with my biohacking friends, and I did a full review of this conference. My review is a little controversial, so you can go back and listen to that if you're debating if you should go this year. I should re-listen to that episode. Maybe I don't want to because maybe it'll make me cringe. I think that, thinking about my review, I think I was a little too close to some of the things that went down. And I think if I had more of a bird's eye view perspective, kind of taken a step back perspective, I think I would have enjoyed it more. And I think I would have had a different opinion. That being said, this one looks pretty good, to be honest. And let me kind of go through some of the things on the website here. So first of all, it's the 10th one. Obviously, that's a big deal. 10 years running is great. And looks like it's all about longevity, which is not surprising. The slogan is live beyond 180, which I don't know if I want to live beyond 180, but good for you guys. Obviously, the website's really good. And let's kind of see who's who. Okay. So keynote speakers for the Biohacking Conference this year, Dave Asprey, surprise, surprise. Gabby Bernstein, Brian Johnson. Hello, Brian Johnson. Nice to see you showing up to events. And Paul Salandino, Daniel Amen, and Sarah Gottfried. Sorry. My gosh. So that's nice to see. Let's see. So we have 2 women out of the 6 keynote speakers. All of the keynote speakers are white. Let's just call it out, which was part of my criticism from last year, was that there was a significant lack of diversity at the conference, and it was very disappointing. So at least, a third of the speakers are women. Wow. The other 4 white dudes. Of course they are. Sorry, this is my opinion coming through. There are a bunch of other speakers. I'm just going to go through the ones that I personally know. Let's see. I actually don't know a lot of these people. Oh, Fatty 15, Stephanie Van Watson. Love her. She was on my podcast. She is the co-founder and CEO of Fatty 15, which is a fabulous product, which has actually replaced my omega-3s. It is a substantial omega. Actually, it's not an omega. It's a substantial fatty acid, and it's the first fatty acid that's been found in 90 years. Listen to that podcast episode because that one was very interesting. I will link it in the show notes for you. Love her team. I met them last year, and they're wonderful people. Next, we have Philippe, who I was just talking about. So he is the CEO of Lila Quantum Tech. Lila's products are very, very cool, very nuanced, and love the way that he thinks and love what he's doing in this space. So I'm happy to see that he's speaking here. Who else do I know here? Neurohacker Collective is going to be there. They're having a speaker, which are the people who created Qualia Mind, which I was just talking about. That is Gregory Kelly. He's an ND. Oh, my friend Sean Wells is going to be there. I love Sean Wells. He's a good guy, very big in the biohacking space. And I think that's it. I think I know. Yeah, Brain Tap. I know some of these other companies, of course. So those are like some great people who are going for sure. For sure. I think it's nice to see this roundup. I'm sure they're still adding people right now as these kind of, these conferences kind of go, they kind of add them as time goes on, add more and more speakers. I will say that, again, I wish there was more diversity in the top 6 speakers here. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I mean, they're probably all similar age as well. And yeah, my gripe is that, we need to make biohacking more accessible and affordable to everybody. And how can we do that when we're having conferences and the people that you're throwing on the posters are people who all look the same? That's not going to attract a diversity of people who will go and attend. And that is not going to help more people become healthier and learn about optimizing their health. It's just going to create and bring in the same people who look the same and think the same. And it's just one big bubble. So that's kind of my argument, honestly, for all of these conferences. But especially when you're someone like the Biohacking conference and you are so substantial in this space, I really think you have a platform to be able to do more and lift others in a different way. Okay. So I'm just going through their website right now. Going to be a lot of people there, I'm sure. I love these brands. That's the thing, is like when I went last year, meeting the brands was the best. It was awesome to meet so many cool people. Like I got to meet, let's look at the exhibiting partners so you guys can know who you get to meet and, get to buy their products from. BrainTap, Oxy Health is going, Pure Wave, 40 Years of Zen, eFish, I've never heard of them, but sounds like they're pretty big. Danger Coffee, Lila Quantum Tech. Who else do I know here? There's definitely some new ones some new companies I've never heard of. For sure, there's some. Sunlighten is going. Sunlighten is saunas, Timeline Nutrition. I love Timeline Nutrition. I work with them a lot. And Viome is going. I love Viome. Zero Gravity. I don't have their devices, but I know people love them, which is like red light therapy. Alitura is skincare. People love Alitura. I do have their products. I just don't use them very often. Young Goose, One Skin are going. Both are skincare brands. And let's see. Okay. Yeah. So actually a bunch of these people I don't know. A bunch of these companies I don't know. So that is kind of the rundown on the 10th annual Biohacking conference that is happening in Dallas, Texas. Now let's move on to the 10th annual Biohackers Summit, which is July 2nd to July 3rd. And this is happening in Helsinki in Finland, which is very, very cool. So this website's very different. What's interesting that I found with this one is that they don't actually list who their speakers are. So this is kind of something that I would struggle with if I was going here, because I would say, okay, I'm going to pay $500, $1,000, whatever the price is. And I need to know who I'm paying to see. I want to see, who am I going to go see speak? Who is going to be there? I would want to know more before purchasing any type of tickets. That's personally just how I feel about these things. Maybe if you live close by, it's not as big of a deal. But because I don't live in Finland, it would be a very big deal for me to go. And so there's just no way that I would go without the speakers. Okay, here's a list though. Interesting. Okay, so this is what it says on the website. The package includes presentations from the following major international wellness and biohacking experts. Okay, so when you say presentations, does that mean it's live? Or are we watching a screen? Or is it online? I would want clarification on that before buying a ticket. So let me read these people to you. Timu Ariana, sorry, my pronunciation, Dr. Ali Sovijarvi. I actually know them. They were on my podcast years ago. Like, we're talking beginning stages when I was living in New Zealand. They sent me their Biohackers book. I forget what it's called. It's huge. It's a it's a great, great book. It's massive. It's not even a book. It's like a textbook. Ben Greenfield. Now, if Ben Greenfield's going, arguably worth going to see. Sean Wells, again, is going. That's awesome. Dr. Amy Killen. I love her. Tim Gray, Max Lagovier. Who else do I know? Sim Land will be there. Joe Cohen, trying to see, Dr. Rhonda Patrick. That's really cool. Dr. Molly Maloof. I love her. And so many others. So sounds like there's some big names going. And I actually do think this is the one that Ben Greenfield does go to. I think he went last year. That would be something that I would research. But that is the Biohacker Summit. If you live close to Finland, might be worth going to. It's going to be, their website's pretty good. Going to be a lot of people there. Okay. Next, we have the Health Optimization Summit. This is June 15th to June 16th, and it is in London, UK. Some highlights: 35 world-leading speakers, 120 cutting-edge brands, 2,600 like-minded people, 2 epic days. Ooh, nice little slogan. Okay. This one looks pretty good. I mean, I guess I shouldn't give my opinion yet. Okay, I have known about this one for a while. I have not attended. So again, the only one I have attended is the Biohacking conference last year. This is the Health Optimization Summit. The leading sponsor is Sunlight Saunas, which is awesome. This is the one that Tim Gray puts on. So some of the headline speakers: JJ Virgin, Dr. Stephen Gundry, Dr. Mindy Pelz, Sadia Khan, Dr. Josh Axe, Kaylee Means, Mike Mutzel, and Tim Gray. So let's take a look, because I did this on the other one. So here we have 8 keynote speakers. Okay. 2 of them are women. 3 of them are women. So 3 out of 8 are women. And I think based on the photos, which obviously is not always accurate, I think one of them is not Caucasian. So that's, just so you know, that's the situation here. Looks like it's a lot of fun. Looks like there's a lot to do. Let's take a look at the exhibitor lineup. Sunlight and Saunas, Ultra Human, IV Boost, Lila Quantum Tech is there. Of course they are. Man, they're everywhere. And who else do we have? They have a lot of people. Bahe, which are the grounding shoes that I wear. I love their shoes and always recommend them to everybody if you want to feel grounded. Bionic, Bioptimizers. I love Bioptimizers. I take their supplements every single day. And they have a lot of people going. Let's see. Glycanage. Love Glycanage. Tells you your biological age. Filter Optics. Those are the blue blocking glasses that I wear. Who else is going? Let's see. Keto Mojo. I have their ketone reader and glucose reader. Kineon is going, which is a red light therapy device I have, which is awesome. Yeah, and there's a bunch of other ones. Prolon is going. I love their fasts. Raw Optics, Sauna Space, Self Decode, Sensate. Love Sensate. Soma Vedic. Some OG companies here. This is great. Timeline Nutrition. I love Timeline. So honestly, like this is a pretty big one. Like this is a pretty big event. Looks like a pretty big event, to be honest. I think it would be really cool to see Dr. Stephen Gundry speak. Same with JJ Virgin. Same with Dr. Josh Axe. I love their work. So I think it would be potentially worth it. Okay, let's get into the next one. Biohacker Expo. This one's coming up really soon. This is February 23rd to February 25th. And it is in Miami. So this one has Gary Brecka speaking, and I would probably go to see Gary Brecka speak. I love his podcast. I love what he talks about. I love his take on things. And to me personally, he kind of came out of the woodwork, but I know a lot of people have kind of been following him for a long time. I just started finding him. Honestly, I think I started finding him on Instagram. No, not Instagram. Sorry, TikTok. And then I was like, oh, you have a podcast. And that's how I got into him. So I'm not sure who. Okay. So I guess the keynote speakers are the people with stars beside them. So let's take a look at this. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 keynote speakers. 2 of them are women, and they are all, maybe he's not. So except for maybe one, they're all white Caucasian people. So you can see across these different events, it's all kind of the same type of person, to be honest. And I don't know these women, either of the women who are going. One is Jennifer Cohen and the other is Misha Tate. I don't know who that is. I actually don't know who a lot of these keynote speakers are. Tim Gray is going. He would be the only one I would know. Him and Gary Brecka. The other ones are William Shatner. Oh, I guess I know William Shatner. And then Christopher Palmer, James Altucher, Jennifer Cohen, Misha Tate, and Tim Gray. There are a bunch of other speakers going. Some of them I do know. Some of them I do recognize. I'm trying to see if any of my close friends are going to this one. Are going to go speak. Philip is going again from Lila Quantum Tech. Definitely seems like there's some women going. Some more women, I guess I should say. And Tiffany Baskett is going. So, I mean, decent lineup of speakers for sure. For sure. Okay, now let's take a look at the exhibitors. I just want to give you, honestly, like the full rundown so that you have the information and you can just decide. Okay, I am not seeing speakers. Oh, exhibitors. Here we go. Oh, they did this in a very weird, awkward way. Their website is not super great. Okay, so some of the like diamond level ones apparently. BrainTap, Intelligent Threads, Lila Quantum Tech, Nanogenesis Labs, Neo STEM Region, the Biohack Lab, Therasage, Bauman Medical, Human Longevity Institute, Glycanage is going, Young Goose, Zero Gravity. So this definitely seems like a smaller event, but still could be a lot of fun. Tickets are obviously reflect that. They're not as expensive. So definitely check that out. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Longevity and Biohacking Convention. This one is July 5th to July 7th, and this is in Spain and France, which is really cool. I have only been to the airports there. I have not been to actually travel to those places. So this says the greatest biohacking conference in Southern Europe, an epic health and wellness event made for health professionals, longevity seekers, and biohackers. So it's a 3-day event. July 5th, 6th, and 7th. And it focuses on holistic health, nutrition, biohacking, anti-aging, fitness, neuroscience, and functional medicine. Very, very cool. Their speakers, I don't recognize a single one of them. I'm not even going to attempt to name or read these names out loud because a lot of them are not in English, or not that they're not in English, but they're just very difficult to pronounce. And yeah, I don't know any of these people. And all of them, except for one, are men. So let's see. It says our speakers, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Out of 18, there's one that's a woman. Just putting that into perspective. And yeah, this one's a little different, but would be very cool to go to Spain and France for it. I don't see a list of exhibitors. Looks very beautiful though, and looks like there's a lot of things that they do during and before, and a lot of outdoor things that they do. Okay. The last one is Hack Your Health, which is May 31st to June 2nd, and it is in Austin, Texas. So this one has over 60 speakers in general. And so this one is the one that used to be KetoCon. They rebranded to Hack Your Health. And I know quite a few people here. So the speakers that I'm looking at are Renee Bells and Lauren Sambataro. Both of them have been on my podcast. They are the Biohacker babes, and I love them. They're really great. I actually met them in person in Miami last year, and they were super, super nice and nothing bad to say at all about them. And these other speakers, I don't know, but I will read them out. Caroline Allen, Ben Azadi, Dr. Sean Baker. I think I know him actually. James Barry. I don't recognize any of these people. Oh, Molly Eastman is going. I know her. She's wonderful. Tim Gray is going. I know of him. Never met him in person, but I know of him. And who else? Let's see. Oh, Karen Martell. I know her. She was just on my podcast. Max Lugavere, who was at the Biohacking conference last year. And let's see. Oh, Nate Palmer. There's a lot of speakers. There are a lot of speakers at this one. Wow. Okay. So those are the speakers. I don't know who are the keynote speakers, to be honest. It's not super, super clear on their website, but it sounds like there are some wonderful people going. So let's go through some of the exhibitors so you know whose products you could get to buy. And the reason that I talk about the exhibitors is because you get typically when you go to these types of events, the products are significantly discounted. So if you've always wanted to buy something, now's the chance to get your sauna for, $1,000 off or something like that, because they have these extra deals going on for that weekend. So their title sponsor is Osteo Strong. And then they have Beam, Hyperbarics, Jasper, Ballistic Keto, Keto Brick. A lot of these, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of these I don't know. Heart and Soil Supplements I know. Keto Mojo. Again, a lot of these I don't know, but they have a ton of them. Keto Brains Nootropics I know. The Beauty and the Broth I know. And yeah, I can read out some of them. The School of Doza, Tasty, Keto Chow, Vibrant Blue Oils, Functional Diagnostic Nutrition, Eco H2O, Baya Gold, Beam Minerals, Body Spec, and I already read the other ones. So that is what's going on with that one. And I think it's very interesting. So if you know this and if you're in this space, you may have noticed that the 10th annual Biohacking conference by Dave Asprey in Dallas is the same weekend as KetoCon or Hack Your Health in Austin. So what I have observed from my friends in the space who are content creators or speakers or media personnel, whatever, they are actually doing both. So they are doing one day, Saturday. I don't know what days of the week these are. I'm assuming they're the weekends, but they're doing Saturday at Dave's and then they're doing Sunday at Hack Your Health or vice versa. So because they're both in Texas, you can do a short flight between Austin and Dallas. I think it just makes sense. I think that's what a lot of people are doing. I think that's how you can see a lot of people are speaking at both of them, is because they're actually just doing both in one weekend. Now, the biggest question is, what am I going to, or which would I go to? So I am not going to any of them. I am unavailable this year for personal reasons, and I cannot attend anything like this of the sort, especially during that time. As you listened, most of them are in June and July, except for Biohacker Expo, which is in February. I will be at 0 of them. And like I said, that's personal reasons. If I was going to go, I would likely do the 10th annual Biohacking conference by Dave. I would go May 30th and June 1st. And then June 1st, I would fly from Dallas to Austin. And then I would do Hack Your Health for the rest of June 1st and June 2nd. And I would probably do that with like some friends and rent a hotel room or honestly just go by myself. It doesn't really matter. And I would try to do both, because for me, I'm in Canada. So me flying to Texas, I might as well do both in one weekend and get the most out of it and meet as many people as I can and network as much as I can versus just staying at one place and just be exposed to more people. That's probably what I would do. And then the other one I would potentially do, if I could, would be the Health Optimization Summit in London. So that is 2 weekends later. That's June 15th to June 16th. And I would fly out from, Toronto or wherever to London for that, because I think it would potentially be worth it in order to meet a lot of the European biohackers. I think there's a big biohacker community out there. And I think it would be awesome to meet people in that space and just connect with them. And I would just love to do that. I think it would be very interesting. And those are the events that I would go to. I would also look into biohacking or biohacker retreats. That would be a different conversation. So I would plan out my year, maybe do one retreat, one summit, or one retreat, one conference, something like that, to have a bit of exposure to both. An honorable mention I just want to throw in is the Women's Biohacking Conference. Last year, this was in September and it was online. This year, I looked at their website. There's no update for 2024. I don't know what they're doing. I can ask. I know the founders and the hosts, but I don't know what they're doing. This is something that I would be interested in going to if it was in person for sure. If they were like, in September, we're doing this in person in Texas, I would do my best to be there. This year, again, for personal reasons, I don't know if I could, but if I could, I would try and go. And then the other honorable mention along the same lines is Dragonfly, which was the female biohacking conference, very similar, that happened last year. That was in person. It was very small. It was very intimate from my friends who went. That was their opinions. And I would potentially try to fly out for that. But again, my argument would be for something like that would be maybe it just makes sense to do a retreat with those type of women in Mexico for a week versus like me flying to somewhere in the States for a weekend and listening to speakers and just being like, I guess you get the benefit of exhibitors if there are a lot of exhibitors and networking with brands. But other than that, I would argue that I would rather go to a small, intimate women's biohacking retreat. Anyway, so that's my take. Take it as you will. I think there's a lot for you to choose from based on where you live, based on your budget, accessibility, and where you want to go. I'm curious to see how the 10th annual biohacking conference and Hack Your Health goes on the same weekends. The other ones I know a lot of people go to are A4M, which is all about longevity. That's in December. That's in Vegas this year. And I doubt I will be going to that one. Again, I don't think I can. And there's also the one in India that Ben Greenfield always speaks at. I forget what it's called, but there's that one as well that you could look into. I hope this helps, kind of. I know it's like long in the tooth listening to me, talk about the speakers and the exhibitors, but it's exciting. Regardless, it's exciting to see what can come together and how many more events are happening every year. So let me know what you go to and let me know what you are going to, or if you have any scoop or inside info or what you think people should go to, let me know. I'm super curious and I want to know. And I'm excited to see everyone's content from going this year. I won't be there, but I'm excited to watch from the sidelines. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for listening, and I will catch you next week for another one.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Biohacking with Brittany. If you're interested in finding the show notes or the sponsors for this episode, you can do so on my website, which is biohackingbrittany.com. Remember to follow me on Instagram, where I'm most active. My handle is @biohackingbrittany. And if you're interested in working together and you want to email me directly, you can do that. My email is info@biohackingbrittany.com. And I look forward to hearing from you and having you tune in next week.